Let's do this! And this is Super Vegito! Show me how tough you are by beating me!
Alright everyone, JB here, and we're back with another Dragon Ball Legends video here on the channel today. Now today, I'm going to be doing a tier list. Now I'm going to be doing the top 10 units in the game, in my opinion. So we're going to be doing both Ultras and LF characters. Now this isn't a tier list based off of all time, right? I'm doing like the current meta, right? We have like, because there's been quite a few changes in the last couple PvP seasons. So I'm gonna go over all those units, and then toward the end of the video, we'll throw in the honorable mentions for the 11 through 15 that y'all see right there. But as always, if you find this video helpful or informative to you, leave a like on the video. It's very much appreciated, and consider hitting that subscribe button to the channel. Always love to have more people on the channel. Now, first things first, we have the one and the number 2 unit. Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, you're gonna have your own opinions, but these are my opinions, and I'll try to explain just a little bit on some of the characters. Now, number 1 unit, in my opinion so far, I'm gonna have to say it has to go to Kid Buu. Because, now let me give a little insight. You know, y'all probably wondering, JB, what do you mean he's number 1, right? You know, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with this. Now, Kid Buu, right? You have, he's a defensive type, but this guy can do some insane numbers on damage. Now, first off, you have his green card. You pop that, it's an AoE green card. So you're getting cover change, and then also, you're also able to combo off that. Not with just a blue card, just any type of card, strike, blast, you're able to combo off of that. You have cover change, you get additional damage. And then if we're looking at his kit a little bit with his like his unique gauge, once that's popped, you're getting even more damage. And then I believe every time that you use a card, you're getting is it damage buffs? I think it's damage or a special move is one of those. But you're getting, you know, you're stacking that up for 10 timer counts. And then his blue card, I feel like is similar to Ultra Gogeta's, the Super Saiyan one, because you're able to pop it. You're literally killing all your opponent's ki. I mean, not ki. You're killing their cards, and then you're also getting your vanishing gauge back. And you're able to do that, I believe, 2 times. So yeah, it's pretty insane. And plus, he has blast armor on his strike cards. So yeah, he's pretty busted. He's pretty busted in my opinion. He definitely, I feel like he definitely deserves that number 1 spot so far, especially with Regen. They just recently got buffs with Orange Piccolo, so therefore Regen is looking a little bit better. It's not my main team, you know. I literally have pretty bad equips for that team. You know, I don't even run that team really. But if Regen does get, you know, some more buffs, I'm definitely considering it. But looking at the number 2 spot, I feel like this has to go to Goku and Frieza. Has to. Goku and Frieza, before their buffs, before they, you know, Legends gave them their buffs, they weren't feeling like a headliner anniversary unit, right? You know, but after their buffs, they're insane. You know, they're crazy. You literally have them getting so before, well, now Goku is able to get cards off of his green card, so that is a plus right there. You also have the damage. The increase in their damage after their buffs is insane. Frieza's side, you know, you have the card draw speed, you have the cover notification, and then one thing about this is I feel like the Frieza side, because his side is where you're getting a lot of buffs for crits. they do insane numbers, especially crit wise. And popping a blue card with Frieza, he literally, you know, if you have a type advantage, you're probably gonna one shot the unit. You know, and it's insane as I've played this unit, this is all you see in PvP. You see this during and probably MVP 17. Or you see them run on different teams. A lot of people like to run them on different teams as well. But they're definitely a number 2 unit, top 3 unit. Because they're insane. And then also you got Goku, who is stacking damage as well with each card he uses. And then don't forget their Rise and Rush counter. And then that did get a buff as well, I think. So even if they die, when your opponent pops a Rise and Rush, they still cancel their buffs. Which is, I don't understand why Legends did that. They're trying to make this unit like, they're trying to overthrow Kid Buu at this point, right? Because even after, you know, them dying, if your opponent pops a rush, they literally have no buffs. Their buffs is gone. And that's crazy that they gave them that buff again, right? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird that they gave them another buff. You know, they're doing really good right now. As far as I know, you know, they're busted. That's all we gotta know. You know, that's all we need to know. But yeah. But definitely, if you're in the higher ranks of PvP, definitely consider running one of these units right here. So top 3, I mean number 3 spot. You know, I gave a little bit of thought on this one, and I'm probably gonna have to give it to Mr. Hit. Now Hit, right? You know, I know a lot of people might argue with my tier list already so far, but Hit, you know, the crit damage, his unique gauge, you know, his unique ability, the time stop, it's pretty easy to counter it. But if you get it popped off and you get it used, you're easily guaranteeing yourself a kill, you know, if you use it right. You know, you have his crit damage, you have his I believe his trying to see, I believe he gets additional damage as well when his unique gauge is popped. And then he also gets additional damage against blue units every time he enters the battlefield. So he's getting even more damage every time he comes in and out of the battlefield. And it's, I mean, there's nothing really to not say about it, right? He's stacking up crit rate, he's stacking up his health with each card he uses as well. So even if you lose some health, you can stack it up if you start comboing with him. One thing is though, his ultimate hits pretty hard in my opinion, especially if you had that crit rate all the way stacked up to the roof. Now putting him on a unique rep team, or you can put him on a powerful opponent team with Kid Buu, that's a dangerous setup. Any setup automatically with 2 ultras and some type of support as the third battle member like Pan. We also had a new Gohan in the game and everything. A few other options for support as well. You're looking at a pretty busted team. You know, I've seen more of Hit than Kid Buu in my fair share of matches. But when I play against Kid Buu, he's still as annoying as it is to play against Hit, because Hit is once he gets going, it's pretty hard to just stop him, right? He's constantly stacking damage, stacking crit rate. Or if you put him on a team, you could make a team giving him like crit buffs and everything as well, or give him some equipment that gives crit buffs. He will still be pretty busted in my opinion. Now, moving on to number 4 unit, I'm probably gonna get at, you know, a lot of people might debate me on this. I'm gonna get at probably the Rose. Now, Rose is out of the boost system, just like Hit. I believe Kid Buu, I think he's out of the boost system as well. But now Rose, I wanted to place him, you know, I was kind of indecisive about placing him in the top 5, but I feel like he's still a top 5 unit, especially individually on his own. You know, he's still pretty annoying to fight. Blue card, does paralysis, what, poison, I think bleed, and no, I think bleed is on his strike cards. I could be wrong, but then you have him when he tags in, he's destroying cards. Green card destroys your cards, and then even though there's a lot of purples running around like Ultra Gogeta Blue, the tag Go Frieza, he's still able to do damage, and he goes type neutral on his main ability. And let's not forget him and Trunks, the LF Trunks. Both of these guys gets 3 ultimates. I think Trunks gets 2, I could be wrong. But this guy can get 3 ultimates, 2 more thanks to his unique ability. And I believe he automatically has card draw speed, just like entering the battlefield. So you're gonna be able to combo for a while with him. And every time somebody tags in, I believe he gets card draw speed as well. But yeah, this unit is just an embodiment of just like an attack powerhouse, similar to Gogeta. His unique ability, like I said, is basically just attack. So it is, if you're doing just a purple unit, you do want to be careful though, because Go Frieza, they can one-shot this guy, which is why I was kind of indecisive of putting him in that top 5 category. But he's still busted outside of just being, not in a boost system. His damage isn't as great, but he's definitely still putting them numbers. He's representing. So, don't sleep on Rose. Rose is definitely still in there. Now we're gonna look at our top 5 unit. So this was a little bit of something I had to think on, because half of these characters are out of the boost system. So you have to look at it as can they still put up decent numbers, right? Now, for me personally, I have to put Gamma 1 and 2 top 5. Top 5, they have to be, and a lot of people probably be thinking, well, you're not, what about Ultra Gogeta Blue? And there's a thing right there. Ultra Gogeta Blue is a purple unit, so he's in this tier list, he's getting pushed down regardless, because you have, like I said, you have Buu, you have Gammas 1 and 2, both yellow units. And Gammas, they're stacking up damage on each card that they use, I believe. Green card gives them a blue card. They heal, I think, off of it, and etc. Key damage. And then you're constantly switching out with them, and you automatically have level 2 card draw speed. So, they're compared to the Buu boys. I think their standby unit is, their standby phase is a little bit better than them. I feel like it definitely does more damage. But with this unit, once you get going with them, you're constantly just using cards. There's a lot of units, like I said, when they tag in, they're killing your key, like Rose. They're destroying cards. Same thing like Go Frieza. Both of those units does that. They're destroying your cards, killing your key to stop your combo. But if you don't have none of that disruption, this unit, you can literally combo. It can feel like an eternity. You're just comboing. So it's pretty crazy to think, I don't really see this unit as much, but I still see it in PvP. But I feel like people sleep on them a little bit. They're definitely, regardless, for me, they're a top 5 unit, top 10 unit, regardless what you want to call it. They're in that top 10 list, regardless. So, you're comboing with them. Blue card isn't nothing special, but they do damage. But their blast damage is crazy. And then they also get the extra blast damage to blast armor units. And when I say if you're at a type advantage against a purple unit, they shred. They literally shred. So yeah, I want to put them there. They're a top 5 unit in my opinion. Now number 6 spot, I think I'm gonna have to give this to Gogeta Blue. And I know some of y'all might think, you're probably thinking, well, you got Orange Piccolo. I'm not talking about Orange Piccolo in a minute, because I feel like people, they're disrespecting him a little bit more than needs to. But Gogeta Blue, he still can contend. Literally, even going against yellow units, I believe after a certain amount of timer counts, if you pop his green card, or if his unique gauge is full, you get type neutral. Or I believe he also has something similar to where if you have like a defeated battle member, you get that that type neutral as well. But this guy, he still can shred. Unique gauge basically is the counter type, giving yourself a free blue card damage right there. Blast armor unit, like I was mentioning. This guy has card draw speed, I believe, level 2 automatically. So you can combo for a while, long as you're not being disrupted by certain units. His ultimate. So this guy, the thing is about this guy that some people don't like is because he's a slow starter, basically. So after a certain amount of timer counts, him and the Gammas are a little bit similar in that way. So I forgot to mention that they both get buffs, damage buffs, special move damage buffs after like what I think 30 timer counts, and then they get another buff after 60 timer counts. So with this unit, you know, going into the late game, they're going to be shredding pretty much. You know, most matches, you know, if it's a pretty good match, they're not going to be a unit that, you know, you're going to be, how should I put it? They're not a unit that's going to start off like super strong at the beginning of the match. But most matches last longer than 30 timer counts, you know, unless it's just a quick match. So they're getting that extra damage toward the later end of the match. Like I said, Gogeta Blue, you get a blue card off his counter, which is, I believe, twice. So it's pretty much free damage right there. Green cards gives you the special, you know, cover null. And I think you draw a blue card as well. So they're like literally, this guy draws a lot of blue cards from his unique gauge, green card. His ultimate hits pretty hard, in my opinion. But he still can contend. You know, Sagas just got a buff. Orange Piccolo, Gammas, and also the Gohan and Magenta. So they definitely can still, I mean, he can still definitely contend. So I feel like a lot of people, he's definitely dropped off though on the list. But he's still a top 10 unit in my opinion. So therefore, you know, Sagas just got that buff. And if Fusion Warrior gets that buff for part 3 with Vegeta Blue, he's probably gonna, you know, that's gonna be a pretty broken team, Fusion Warriors. But yeah, it's personally what I think. Moving on to the number 7 unit on the list, I'm gonna put Orange Piccolo. You know, a lot of people don't like him as a unit so far. Some people do. I feel like he's definitely a top 10 unit. But I feel like what people are looking for, he doesn't feel 100% like an anniversary unit, anniversary LF, right? Like, I think the problem is people think that when a unit comes out, they're supposed to feel like a number 1 unit, which isn't the case with every unit that's come out, especially LFs or Ultras. But Piccolo is definitely still a top 10 unit. I don't have him. So like some of these characters that y'all see me doing, I don't have them. I have about most of them, but I've definitely played my fair share of matches against them. So post transformation for Piccolo, he definitely is a, you know, a top 10 unit. Before that, he doesn't really feel like a tank. You know, he takes a lot of damage, literally. I've one-shot this guy with a blue card from a purple unit, which is, you know, it's type disadvantage for him, but still, you know, you look at the show, you would think that they would give him some form of sustained damage cut, or, you know, it's just he doesn't feel that spectacular. But he definitely is still a good unit. You know, put him on regen, put him on Sagas from the movies. You can literally put him on any of those teams, and he'll definitely feel top 10 at least. Damage wise, I don't know. It's hard to put it because I never played with him, but I played against him. He does have a counter, I believe, on his green card. no, on both his, before his transformation and after it, they're both a counter. So I do enjoy that. He does get I believe, I'm trying to think, I believe he does get cover null when he transforms, or off of his green card, I believe, if he gets a counter off. As far as it goes, as looking at everything else, he's not too impressive on tanking. Like I mentioned, they could have gave him more damage sustain cut. Damage wise, he's an LF unit, so he definitely is still, put him on the right setup on a team. Like I mentioned, he's definitely putting in some numbers. You also can't mention in regen really quick. Excuse me. A good setup also, putting him with Kid Buu and probably the Blue Zamasu, since Zamasu does have that disrupt alongside I believe Kid Buu on tagging in. So he's not a bad unit. But for me personally, he's still a top 10 unit. I play against him plenty of times, so he does feel a little underwhelming as far as going. It's the same thing that Goku and Frieza had before they got their buff. I feel like he's all right where he's at, but he definitely could use more utility. Hopefully they do something about his tanking, because it's horrible. It's horrible. Even Revaku, the UI, he literally gets better tanking than him, in my opinion. But moving on, I believe we're gonna look at our number 8 spot, and this was a tough one because movies, universe rep, they're all getting buffs and everything, so it's more of like, who do you pick for these spots, right? Now, I'm gonna put MVP 17 here, and a lot of people, like I said, the uni rep literally right now this season is more, you have the uni rep, then you have Stardust for the movies, but uni rep is definitely pretty much a top 3 team just ruling it, right? Goku and Frieza, you have Hit, you have what I just mentioned, MVP 17, and this guy, he does a good amount for your team. His unique gauge, once it's popped, he's literally getting damage. He's getting cover null, I think, as well. And then his blue, and then he also gets a buff to his ultimate. So his ultimate hits like a truck once that unique gauge is popped. He's getting card draw speed, I believe, only for his blast cards. But he's getting that blue card gives you a green card off of popping it. So that's a good thing to look at. But this guy, he's crazy. He's a little bit in between support. He still can do some really good numbers on damage. Also, I'm trying to remember. You can't run him on androids because now we have the gammas. You can run him gammas, and I believe probably the purple 17, because now he can be Zenkai buffed because of the new Zenkai that we got this week. So androids is definitely another team that you look at, and it doesn't necessarily need an ultra on there to make the team usable or to be able to compete, right? He's definitely usable. Like I said, he restores health, I believe. I'm trying to think. He has an ability in his kit somewhere. He restores health while he's on the bench. I believe every time an ally gets hit. I could be wrong, but I've only used him a little bit on Unirep androids. But if you put him on a blast-based androids team, I feel like they can definitely still compete. They're definitely gonna shred. And yeah, that's what I think personally on 17. He's definitely still usable. Unirep is being the top 3 team so far in the game, in the meta. But let's look at our number 9 spot. And I think I'm gonna get this to I'm gonna say probably Beast Gohan. I'm gonna mention again, Beast, as far as taking damage, tanking, and all that stuff. Of course, he's not gonna tank that well because he's got the blue system. This guy got released a year ago. He's still able to compete. Like I mentioned, Sada's just got a buff. You can run this guy with, I would say, you can run him with Ultra Gogeta Blue, because you have options. You can run him with the Gammas and put the Gammas in the leader slot, or you can run him with Piccolo. But I feel like Beast has that kit where when he got released, it's insane. Like, the numbers were insane. Damage output, he's definitely still able to compete. Dream card. So if you start off with this guy on the when you start off the match, if you start off with him, your unique gauge is already filled, and you already have cover change, probably 10 timer counts starting off. And then green card is green card when you're popping that while your unique gauge is full. You get your advantage back. And I believe you destroy all your opponent's cards, which is pretty powerful if you use that in the right scenario, depending on the match and how the situation is. And then you have his blue card. So it doesn't matter if he has type disadvantage. If your unique gauge is popped with this guy, type neutral blue card. And depending on how you build them on the equipment and everything in a team, that blue card can hit pretty hard. And then also, I do suggest running him with like I was mentioning, right? If you're running with Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, or if you're running with Pan, he gets even more buffs if one of them dies. So therefore, he's getting even more damage, and I believe he gets buffs to his, he gets health as well, but he gets more damage buff as well. And I believe also, I'm trying to remember, if you pop his ultimate with his unique gauge, or I believe if you have a battle member defeated, he also gets even more cards, like he gets a full hand. So this guy is constantly destroying your cards, or he's literally restoring his advantage with his unique gauge, and his green cards, of course, or he's getting even more cards if you're popping his ult. If you have a defeated battle member, I believe, I could be wrong, haven't used them in a while, but Beast is still something you definitely, if you don't have like Orange Piccolo or Gogeta Blue, you still can use this guy. Run Pan on the side for support, because the support does definitely help him out. But I feel like he's in that top 10 for sure. So last but not least, number 10 spot. I really feel like a lot of people doesn't talk about this guy a lot, and that's gonna be Revive Crew here. Now, I do know that the LFUI just recently got his Zenkai, but I feel like Revive Crew here is still a bit better. Even if the UI, he is purple, he has type advantage and everything, but Revive Crew post revival, I feel like he's still good. He's not bad, but I feel like he's in a similar situation like Orange Piccolo, or let's say for example the Blue Boys. They don't feel all that great, but they're still usable. They're not bad, but they're still usable. Post transformation, he gets covered all for like 20 plus timer counts, which is a lot. You have his his unique gauge, which is his dodge ability, so you can use that to your advantage depending on the situation. His I'm trying to think, his green card, I believe it gives him card draw speed, or I believe he gets card draw speed even more after he revives. He already has card draw speed starting off the battle. I don't know. He this is a unit, I don't have this unit, so he feels, playing against him, I haven't played a lot of matches against him so far, but I feel like he still deserves a top 10, because his blue card hits pretty hard, post revival. I feel like before then, he takes a lot of damage. Same thing, similar to Piccolo. I believe that's just with every revival unit. They're never going to be like super tanky because they're a revival unit. So, but he does revive with full unique gauge and everything. So therefore, if you're comboing with him, whole survival. He has card draw speed. What else? What was I about to say? He has cover null, and then he gets his main ability pretty fast. So therefore, you can pop another blue card. You know, and it's insane because I don't play against this unit a lot, but the matches that I have, he definitely, if you're playing with him the right way, he could be a problem. He definitely could be a problem, you know, dealing with it depending on the situation of the match. But yeah, that's what I think for the top 10 units. Let me know down below what you guys think on the top 10 units. You know, let me know who would y'all put, where would y'all change them. You know, because I'm gonna throw in a few more units right here in the like honorable mentions. Then we have the Buu Boys. Same thing, like I mentioned. You know, they're a great. I wouldn't say great. It's just they don't feel as good as they should be, right? So you know, their standby, I feel like it's pretty nice. But I feel like on the Vegeta side is where it's lacking. If they had that balance of like the Tad 4s, you know, Vegeta, I mean, they gave Goku card draw speed, but I feel like with Vegeta, they should at least like gave him something where he draws like 2 cards, or he draws a blue card. You know, you could pop that right after tagging in with him, but it didn't. You know, Goku's side is probably the best side, obviously. Vegeta is only there just to tank and take damage pretty much. But they're not a bad unit. They don't feel all that great, in my opinion. Now to number 12, Tad 4s. You know, nothing much to really just explain on this, right? They're literally a pretty balanced unit as far as like a tag unit, right? Like I said, we have Goku. He gets blue card damage. Restores advantage depending on how many cards you kill. Vegeta, card draw speed, cover null. Then their green card, you know, AoE green card. So it's, you know, you can get priority pretty quick with them, depending if you can pop your green card in the right situation. Cause it's not that hard to defend their green card. But yeah, that's what I think personally. Then we have another person I want to look at. Number 13 spot. I feel like a lot of people sleep on this guy. You know, he's definitely a top 15 unit. I feel like GT has dropped a little bit because of all the recent buffs with you know, sagas from the movies and, you know, Unirep. But this guy's output damage is insane. His ultimate card, insane. You know, and his cover change is, you know, used in the right situation, is good. It's good. Like, this guy, you know, he can do some insane numbers, put him on the right setup, put him on GT, or maybe a Sun Family setup. You know, he's crazy. You know, so don't sleep on him. If you see a GT setup with this guy, and he's being either Zenkai buffed or just a pure GT setup, do not sleep on him. You might want to take him out first. But moving on to the next spot. I think for this one, I'm gonna put Mr. UI. This guy is definitely better, much better before Zenkai. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like I'm gonna put him in the 15 spot, right? Because Evo Vegeta, to me, feels a little bit better than this guy. Oh, I can't switch that. Oh, there we go. But both of these units are great with their Zenkais. I've played them. Vegeta, literally, this guy is he's I don't know how to explain it, but his blast damage is it's there. It does insane numbers. You know, same thing with UI over here. Green card, he gets cover null. I think with Vegeta's green card, I think he gets cover null. I don't remember. But also his green card with UI, you can get priority if you pop it in the right situation. Like I said, cover null, card draw speed, damage, all that stuff. But it's not. They're definitely better. Spice is better compared to, say for example, like Vegeta Blue Zenkai. This guy I really hated that they gave this guy nothing but pretty much stats. They hardly put anything into his kit for any like card draw speed, cover null, or some form of like maybe a disrupt when tagging in. So it kind of sucks that they did my boy like that. But both of these guys, you know, all these people I have on the list, they're definitely interchangeable. You know, everyone has their own opinions. But as far as right now, this is where I stand on pretty much my top 10 list. And then, like I said, the honorable mentions for the 11 through 15 units. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You know, like I said, comment down below where you would put for your top, you know, top 3 units, top 5 units. Let me know, right? Everyone has their own opinions. I would love to see you guys' comments on this. But yeah, this is what I think. But that'll be the end of the video. As always, everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.